What's going on, beautiful people? I am Lando Success, and today we are doing a reaction video to the Lucid Air Dream Edition. Now, originally, I was doing a reaction video to Jay Leno's garage, and I guess he just had got one in, and I was under the assumption that he was going to drive it, review it. But once I start doing a reaction video, since I don't watch these until I do it, it was really just him in the garage talking for 30 minutes, and that wasn't exciting enough. So I found the real video to review and to do a reaction off of it. All I ask in return is to just press that like button, press the subscribe button, and also leave a comment. Let's get right into it. Now, with this one, it's a 2022 Lucid Air review, Tesla's Living Nightmare. I love that clickbait title. That's what you supposed to do, baby.
All right, come on, last votes. This is
Palm
the
Springs.
steering wheel we're going to go with, the final choice on our now Lucid Air Dream.
So I guess
Okay.
they must have a funny type of channel.
4-1.
I like it.
It looks like we're going with something conventional, not something stupid or idiotic. But now it's time for the big one. We're not alone in the EV world, okay? There's a number that everyone's going to be talking about.
Throttle House. This first time I'm ever watching their channel. So I guess they got a car review
You're watching
channel.
Throttle House. I'm Thomas.
I love it.
And I'm James.
And this is the Lucid Air Dream P.
When Thomas says Dream P, he doesn't mean like when you wet your bed when you're 4 years old. He means performance.
Ooh. 0 to 60 in
So
like
that's 2.5 seconds to
2.something
60.
seconds.
And if this is anything like the Plaid, it's relentless from there. It's Act 2 where it keeps going. And it gets to a certain point where, okay, this doesn't match it in 0 to 60, but...
They are in, it could be Arizona, but it looks like Wyoming. I don't know. Let's see. Where y'all
that
think
power
they at?
just starts to become pain.
And that shouldn't really be a surprise because the Lucid Air Dream Edition Performance has a skull-crushing 1,111 horsepower, a power number
That's crazy.
I'm sure they came upon very scientifically.
If you're new to Throttle House, we do car reviews, track tests, and quite a lot of messing around. So subscribe and hit the bell.
This got to be such a dope channel. Do it with your friends to literally just drive cars and joke around. I love it. I'm about to subscribe. This is the first time watching you guys. I'm
Even though
subscribing.
it's 400 pounds heavier than
So
the
I can do
Plaid,
more reaction videos.
it's still shockingly quick in a straight line. And there's no funky increased artificial sound like a tie cat.
Oh, you see that that battery, that 227. That's my thing, man. And you looking at that battery when it's gonna die every 2 seconds.
Pretty cool. It's like a Formula E car. So I'm in sprint mode right now, which is the only mode that uses the full 1111 horsepower. Any other mode only has a maximum of, I think, 780.
Oh, I want to drive one of these, y'all.
Think of it as like the black and red key for SRT and Dodge. This is red key mode. And that speed is available to you immediately. You know, in a combustion car, there's a torque, it builds. This, you put your foot on the floor,
It's go time.
and
It's
suddenly
go time.
this over 5,000 pound machine is flying. And on these canyon roads, that can be a little bit scary. It's pushing me back into my seat. And I'm losing grip on my steering wheel as time goes on because my hands are getting sweatier.
So it's probably not a good drive in the mountains.
Driving it, I'm quite surprised actually because
Need something going
apart from the
straight.
fact that I'm granted the beauty of a full 360-degree wheel, there are quite a few similarities between this and the Model S Plaid.
For starters, the current CEO used to be one of the top vehicle engineers for the Tesla Model S, and then he buggered off and set about trying to make the Lucid the ultimate road car, one that could make both Model S owners and even Mercedes S-Class owners think twice about their decision. And in fact,
I can't lie, that car is beautiful, yo. It costs a lot of money, but it's beautiful. I give it that to him.
That insane horsepower number is kind of just a byproduct of the size of the batteries, which in this car give the Lucid Air Dream Edition performance an incredible 758 kilometers of range, a number that climbs to 836 kilometers if you get the Dream Edition R.
And one of the most important ways for an EV to be efficient is to make it cut through the air, to make it slippery. The more it cuts through, the lower its drag coefficient. And as we all know, drag coefficient is measured as 2 times the drag force over the mass density of the fluid times the flow speed squared times the reference area. Obviously.
Wonder who get to pick who drive which car out of like the friends.
Lucid
Do they take
have
turns?
managed to make this have a drag coefficient of 0.2, which makes it the car with the lowest drag coefficient ever.
Right on cue. Right on
Did I
cue.
interrupt you?
Well, apparently, I'm doing a video of the Lucid, mate. Why don't you stay in your video?
I am in my video. You stay in your video. Stay out of my timeline.
This is my
Oh
timeline.
my lord, this is great.
As you were.
Okay, so the Lucid shares the 0.2 club with the
They probably
EQS.
is doing.
Unlike
They was
the
probably both doing a car review video that day. It's like, let's merge them together.
The Lucid has appeal. So sorry.
So, while it might not have the appeal of a Ferrari LaFerrari, that has a drag coefficient of 0.3.
Yeah, that's
so
different
this
level.
has a better drag coefficient than pretty much all the supercars. But sitting here now, this feels like a luxury car first, despite its crazy straight line speed.
It definitely looked like a luxury
And
car. It give you that
Initial
luxury
reports of
feeling.
this suggested that it was quite loud on the highway, and I actually haven't got that experience at high speed. What I am experiencing though is a bit of creaking in the rear of the chassis. Maybe it's some panels clicking together, maybe it's a pre-production thing, but it's still not quite good enough in a car that costs $170,000 US. Yeah, we're not mentioning.
Yeah,
that.
if I'm spending
That is
something for 170, everything
Turbo
needs to be
S
perfect.
money. And thankfully, like the Taycan, this starts earlier. The Air Pure, which no, isn't something you plug in to make your washroom smell nicer, starts at just over 100 Canadian or 77,400 US dollars.
That's unfortunately that's
get
the one
the
I
other
would
luxury
get
stuff.
because
Most
I'm
of
not
it.
spending almost
As with all
200,000 for a
things like
car.
this, and because of how well this drives, I would lean
Not yet.
towards whatever,
I could.
for the money, whatever gets me the most range. Because range becomes the most important thing here, especially while the charging network doesn't match the gas station network. And right,
In my opinion, that's where Lucid completely takes off when it comes down to the range, because most of these EV companies, they're making cars that only go 200 and 100 miles before you got to charge it. Like, do not come out with an EV company until you figure out giving me 500 miles plus. That's it. Whoever had the longest mile. It's like coming out with a phone where your battery don't die for like 2 days. You do that, everybody will buy it. Just saying. I'm just saying.
just driving this, I've switched it to Swift, and the ride, thankfully because it's an EV, the center of gravity is low, so the control is taken care of, so I can just drive it smoothly. And it allows you to do that. The throttle inputs are smooth, coming to a stop, it brakes smoothly. I've put it on creep right now because I don't actually like when it's completely stationary after I let off the brake. I like emulating cars that I'm used to. But over time, I'm converting, and I'm starting to use regenerative braking more and more. But I put it in smooth.
So the drive
This
looks
doesn't have air
good.
suspension. This has
Get
semi-adaptive
smooth.
dampers on coil, and the ride is good. It's soft. It doesn't waft like a Rolls Royce, but it's just smooth.
Like a
As a
Rolls
driver,
Royce. Oh, have you guys ever
it's
rode in a
hard.
Rolls Royce
So
before?
it can do the luxury thing.
Oh
and
my God, it's so
absolutely,
luxury.
It can do the straight line stuff as well, but it's also pretty good at stopping.
And that's because it has 6 piston brakes in the front, 4
Next
piston
person.
brakes in the rear, stainless steel braided lines, a huge gap between the rotor cheeks to dissipate heat, and some clever aerodynamics designed to move temperature away from the brakes, which, by the way, was done by an ex-Red Bull.
See, since I'm like a YouTuber and stuff, I'm wondering what type of mic is he using, because I don't see what you call like a Bluetooth mic, and I know his camera too far to. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about right now.
One engineer. And it even comes with the car. It's not a $20,000
Guess I'm too
optional
broke
extra
to
added to the
understand
website
that
months
just yet.
after the car was released because people kept crashing them.
But that's not an innovation. That's just common sense in a car with over 1,000 horsepower that weighs 5,000 pounds. What is an innovation are the motors, one in the front and one in the back. The motor, differential, and inverter are all together and tiny and weigh just 163 pounds.
I was impatient and I fast forward.
And underneath here.
Let's see
Quite
this.
shallow though. That's quite. It's wide, but and then it cuts in. So
Yeah, I mean, well, there's lots of space inside.
I don't like how the trunk is set up.
I do like it.
ponder me this.
You're
Yeah.
limited on what you can put in there.
Why, if, as you said, they put so much work into the brakes and
Yeah.
why have they hidden them with what appears to be not very good-looking wheels? I think
Well, I'll tell you that. Because they're more aerodynamic, so you get better range. But then, if you need to, you can just do this.
Oh.
What do you do? What are you doing? You can't do that.
Here, hands out. There you go. Hold that,
I don't know how much these are worth, and I don't want to drop them.
right? And now the wheels look friggin' cool.
Now that's
So you
dope.
can see the massive.
Now
brakes.
that's
I think-
sweet.
I think these wheels look really cool without that on.
What?
Like, assuming that you don't lose that much range, I would totally just drive around without them on.
Yes.
Because I think this looks way
That
cooler,
look way
honestly.
better.
I'm still tempted, and it's obviously subjective, but I think as far as cool EVs
But just
go,
by
Yeah.
taking those
you know,
off,
if the EQS is like
you get
here,
less gas
still
mileage.
think that Taycan Cross Turismo is up here.
Like visually, you mean?
Visually.
It does look very, very good.
But
yes.
it doesn't have the room that this has on the inside.
We can go look?
Yeah. Nah, mate, we got
Oh, it's soft close.
Soft
Every
close.
time. I forget.
Oh,
wait,
soft
these are
close.
really
You getting used to.
interesting. I was
You're so
distracted
used
by
to
the door
slamming the
handles,
I
door.
feel like toy gun triggers in like the best
So that's
way.
how
It's
you
weird
open a
because
door?
You look at it and you go like, oh, well, that's just over-engineered. But it's actually very intuitive. You just kind of pull it.
I think that's my
I never
biggest
seen one like that.
top line.
That's very unique. I like
You
that.
get in,
Yes.
And it's we haven't
Chick
had to
get in the
guess
car, they don't know how to get
No,
out.
it kind of makes
Get
sense.
me
Like,
out of
the
here.
menu isn't overcomplicated. There's like, this makes me
Oh
sound so
my
old.
gosh, that's
But
beautiful.
I like how big the icons are. Like,
does make
Yes.
it does. But it's everything's spaced out in a way that kind of makes sense. But on a
It-
touchscreen,
like,
it
look how
matters
much
because when
space is in
bouncing
there.
around,
Yes.
you don't want to have to be super accurate, right?
Well, this is the Santa Monica theme interior.
So are they in
So we
California?
have-
Okay.
And so it's like all the light greys.
Yeah.
I think it's quite.
Alcantara.
Yeah, we got alpaca wool.
Alpaca.
Alpaca wool.
Yeah.
This looks like a
$10,000
Scandinavian chair.
alpaca.
It does, and we got
Yeah.
like the Taycan meets Escalade floating.
Yep. No, it's
Dash.
It's nice. And,
And
then
if you don't like this,
yeah, you just swipe that little boy. It's gone.
Oh.
and there's extra
Right.
space.
It's not the most elegant
Yeah.
sounding motor in the world, but
Pre-production.
pre-production, yeah.
Would you
as a result
guys-
of it being pre-production,
Would you guys have the
to us
screen
now
or not
is a
have the
little bit
screen?
laggy.
I don't know. I don't know.
We've been informed that it will be quicker. Are you getting a massage right now?
Yeah.
Or did you do a toot?
Women
That
are going
is-
to like this
Ooh,
car.
so it
Quite a
massaged you.
vibration that's happening
Yeah.
there. How do I turn mine on?
Women are going to
Where do
like
I-
this car a lot.
Where is it? Where is it?
Unwind.
Unwind.
Have you,
Whoa.
it's aggressive.
Oh man, when I'm
It's
out
really aggressive.
when I'm out doing Uber Eats in my
Ever seen Martin with Victoria's
$170,000 car doing Shipt, I'm waiting for them to bring my McDonald's, man. I'm just you know. Hey, Uber Eats for John. Put up to their house in a car that costs more than
They have?
their whole house.
Stop looking at me like that. Turn it off. Why you stop massage?
It's like,
abort.
it's
abort.
like eating a banana and looking into the eyes of. You can't do it. You can't get a massage in a Lucid and look at someone.
No, you can't. Okay.
Moving on.
What's
Never
your
happened
thoughts?
Because people have different driving positions, so they're kind of stuck.
I'd love to hear
Dashboard
what do
is
you
cool,
guys
nice
think
and
about
clean and
this? Is
simple,
it
like
worth the
airflow
money
and
if you have the money?
And we have this massive glass roof.
Yeah, I mean, people have said that it's the largest.
Look at that
single
glass.
pane glass windscreen, but
Oh
is it-
my God, so much
I
glass, so
don't-
much
the Tesla
space.
Model X felt
I swear it was longer.
bigger, yeah.
Anyway.
And also, the Tesla Model X has these come in from the A pillar.
So that it's completely clean.
It's completely clean.
Yeah.
So I don't know if maybe there's legislation that's changed.
More
or something,
glass.
Oh, maybe.
Because this isn't as clean out here.
This looks like an iPad.
These float
cover.
weirdly.
Yeah. So the back seats have to.
I was
say they
seeing
are
one of these
big.
where the back seats
They are
was
big,
like
big.
folding down.
Worlds away from a Taycan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Looked like a
In
lot of
terms headroom,
space.
there's not a ton of headroom back there, but it's good. You could be over 6 feet and still sit.
And it's got that glass roof.
Yeah, it is very nice, and like the glass roof is nice because you have this like big pillar of Alcantara in the middle. It kind of looks
6'6", Jesus.
And they're nicely tinted as well. Like,
Yeah.
because people are concerned about that.
Nobody
Model
6'6"
3,
needs to be
Tesla
sitting in the
CX,
back
it's gonna be
seat.
sun all the time. It's
Yeah.
gonna be-
Human
I'd like to see a
giant.
Magic Sky type of thing, like
Just like me,
That
you know.
Mercedes kind of has the magic
Too
sky.
tall to be
Yeah.
sitting in the back
But
But
seat.
don't forget, that's in a very small piece of glass compared to this, right? It'd be very difficult to do that type of technology.
So the Magic Sky, if you're
There's the future. There
if
you
you're
go.
not aware of Magic Sky, Mercedes has a thing where you press a button and literally the glass goes dark.
That's cool.
Kind of like in the fancy new aeroplanes.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But what else is going on here? We've got these buttons, which look like they would be capacitive touch, but there's a click. An actual click.
Oh, an actual physical.
An actual
Speaking
click.
of actual physical buttons, this is nice, right? We've got like just the three things that you need: the fan, the temperature, and the volume are just physical.
Yes.
Right, just keep like that's the bare minimum of what I want to be. I would also add in personally a heated and cooled seat button, which this does have.
So I don't need to see no more. You guys probably don't need to see no more. What are your y'all final thoughts? My personal opinion, I like it. It's definitely the first luxury EV of that scale, of that class, but I don't think it's worth $100 and basically like $200,000 for it. It just, even if I had the money, I would spend the money on like a car that I can put regular gas in it. Even when they showed the Ferrari or different cars, I would probably get something else because the world is not fully EV yet. And I do have the mindset of being in Michigan where it's going to be harder to charge unless I get it built into the house. But call me in a few more years. I will probably be more interested when they come out with something bigger and better. Let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts? Make sure you press that like button, press the subscribe button. I'm Lando Sess, and I appreciate you guys, and I'm out.